for joining. I'm very happy to see really good friends here. My friend Christine and my friend Eleanor, they're here to support me. So that's very cute of them. Thank you, guys. So yeah, welcome again. And I hope you had a really good week and that you were able to look at Google Classroom. Not only look at it with curiosity of what's in there, but that you were actually able to continue your meditations and and a little bit the contemplations that we talked about, the power that the mind has to transform itself. Okay, because the main two topics of this course we're doing together, or you can call it retreat, right? A course is just something that you do it, and then you leave it aside. But I want us to see it more as a continuous retreat. So we come together online, we share some information, and then you continue with the application of the information that we discussed. So that's why I see it more as a retreat, is something that has some sort of continuity. So this retreat has two main components, which is learning to subdue and train the mind so it can stay in an object. So we're training to focus the mind, and through that to calm it down. And then the other big component is about learning about the mind, learning and understanding that the mind has this incredible potential to heal itself.
Sorry, we lost two people there. I don't know what happened. Yeah, I think Wendy will be back online soon. Hello, just give us a moment. Just a moment, Ventrell will be right back. I think we can just sit and meditate like Venerable had told us last time, single pointed meditation.
Okay. Can you hear me, Shanti?
Yes, Venerable.
Yeah. Sorry, we just had a short, we have a big storm. So yeah, the light and the electricity just went off. So it took me a while to reconnect. Sorry about that. I'm back.
No problem. I hope you all are safe there.
Yes. Okay. So there's so yeah, so I was refreshing a little bit what we're going to do, what is our main focus. And so these two practices of calming and focusing the mind using the calm abiding techniques for that. So we will use the abdomen for the first sessions as an object to concentrate the mind, and then to transform it, we will now introduce the during this session, not right now, but during this session, we will introduce the four immeasurables, okay? So before we do all that, we are going to generate a good, strong altruistic motivation. We talked about intentions of first session last week. And so I will share on our screen, I will share the daily prayers, taking refuge and generating bodhicitta, and we will do that before we start with our calming and focusing the mind, and then we will recite the four immeasurables. Okay, so just to refresh, bodhicitta is a mind. Yeah, bodhicitta is a mind. Citta is enlightened or towards enlightenment, and citta is mind, and bodhi is towards alignment. It's a mind that wants to achieve that state. Yeah, so enlightenment is a state that is free from any negative states of mind, is free of any sort of obscurations of the mind. Yeah, and it's a mind that has completely perfected all the good qualities. So it's free of afflictions and negativity, and it has perfected the let's say all the wholesome states of mind. Okay, so we generate that because we want to have a very pure beginning to our practice, right? So bodhicitta is a mind that wants to work on itself because it has this great compassion for other beings. Yeah. So bodhicitta is based on great compassion. So interestingly enough, the four immeasurables, and to refresh what they are, so we have immeasurable love, immeasurable compassion, immeasurable joy, and immeasurable equanimity. Those four are prerequisites or are conditions and causes for that mind of bodhicitta to arise. Okay, so we first generate the wish that we want to achieve enlightenment because we want to give the best of ourselves to other beings based on compassion. And so then we generate the four immeasurables that will assist us for that aspiration to manifest. Okay, I hope that's clear. So to begin with, we generate that mind, that very loving altruistic mind based on the four immeasurables, and then we will do our calm abiding, our focusing the mind meditation using the abdomen as the main object. So so take a moment. So like that, we try to reflect on our own difficulties. Maybe just take this week, for example, this last week, and just recollect, just kind of gaze throughout the week and just see, what things came up for you. What challenges were you exposed to? Have you had any physical pain? Have you had any sadness or fears or moments of anger, frustration? Just look into your week and just try to clearly identify any moments that you found them difficult to deal with. Yeah, so this is what we call, the first noble truth in Buddhism. There is suffering, and suffering is based on its causes, which are negative karma and afflictions. States of mind, negative states of mind that afflict, disturb our inner peace. So as we have been experiencing these undesirable situations, so have many other beings, many other beings. Probably most of the people that you know have been experiencing similar or more aggravated suffering situations. So it's like that. We're all, in one way or another, we are all in the same boat. So this is just to show us that we're not alone in whatever struggles we have. And not only that we're not alone, but negative emotions are quite universal. Everyone you know around you, they're experiencing some kind of struggle. So as you have tapped on your own suffering first, try to recognize that others suffer too, and try to generate some sort of empathy to start with. Empathy is what opens the door to our hearts to begin with. Empathy means, oh, okay, I see you. I see your suffering, and I want to understand it. So take a moment and reflect on that with the people that you know. Try to tap on their suffering, what they could have been going through this last week. And try to tap on your empathy. And so if we keep on generating these states of mind that care for others, right? We would like to probably take care of them in the best, most beneficial way. We probably want to perfect our hearts so we can help them and not hurt them, and hurt them in the most perfected way. So that is what bodhicitta is. So see if you can generate that in your heart, just even the thought, even just a little wish, how wonderful it will be if I could have this wish to achieve enlightenment for the benefit of all beings. Okay, so with that in your heart, we can formalize it by doing a prayer together. So you can look at your screen now. And we rely upon the three jewels, Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, to assist us in that aspiration, the fulfillment of that aspiration. I take refuge until I'm enlightened in the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Supreme Assembly. By my merits of generosity and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit transmigratory beings. I take refuge until I'm enlightened in the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Supreme Assembly. By my merits of generosity and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit transmigratory beings. I take refuge until I'm enlightened in the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Supreme Assembly. By my merits of generosity and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit transmigratory beings. The five immeasurables. May all sentient beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all sentient beings never be separated from the happiness that knows no suffering. And may all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free of attachment and hatred for those held close and distant. Okay, so now that we have a good, strong motivation, we get into a good posture. And we commence with our practice of focusing and calming the mind. So your shoulders are back and down, your chest is open. Your spine is nice and straight. You try to become very present. So any sort of projections into the future or thoughts onto the past, you try to put all that to a side. It's as if you would have parked a car there to a side, and you leave all the things inside the car and you lock it. And you leave them there. So try to mindfully do that. Anything that has the potential to pull you out of the practice, try to safely guard it there. To our side. And now bring the mind totally inwards into the sphere of the body, pull it in, as if it would be a magnet. Your body would be a magnet and you're attracting all your bits and pieces. Bring all your awareness inwards. So that your body is right there sitting, breathing naturally, connect with that. Allow the body to breathe. And your mind is right there, observing your body breathing. Unify body and mind in the same space and time. And so activate the observer for a few moments. Just observe your body breathe. So like that, once you are sure you are 100% in the present moment, we try to neutralize the mind from the two main obstacles of karma abiding, which are distraction and forgetfulness. And for that, we use the breath. So we begin by inhaling deeply. So breathe in deeply. Breathe in from the bottom of your lungs. Breathe in and expand your abdomen and your chest and your lungs. And with the inhalations, you refresh your system. You try to wake up. You breathe in freshness and you try to eliminate, the drowsy, forgetful mind. Yeah, inhale and replenish. After a busy day, inhale and replenish. And now while you continue breathing in this way, now you focus more on the exhalation. So you breathe in fully and you breathe out slowly. You breathe in fully and you breathe out slowly. And with the exhalations, relax. Relax your body. Let go of any tension you might be holding. Breathe it out. Breathe in fully, and with the next exhalations, relax your mind. Let go of any tensions you might be holding within your mind, that they appear as distractions. Let go of the busyness of the mind. Breathe it out. Let go of the worries and the stories. Breathe them out. So like that, breathing deeply, and with each exhalation, you relax deeper and deeper your body and your mind. Relax deeper your body and your mind. Yeah, like that. Relax. Let go. And enjoy the quietness and the serenity. And so like that, naturally now allow your body to find its own normal rhythm of breath. And now you happily bring your awareness to your abdomen. And so like that, with a relaxed yet engaged mind, you observe. Yeah, with this observer that has been highly activated, you observe every single movement at your abdomen while you breathe in, every single movement at your abdomen while you breathe out. And you remain focused there for the next 7 minutes. Apply introspection. Check what your mind is doing. Be vigilant and guard your practice. So if you notice the mind wanders, you stop the dialogue, the conversation, the distraction, and you bring the mind back to the abdomen. And the distraction, you can visualize that you breathe it out. And like that, continue observing as if you would be at the beach and you're observing the waves coming in and out from the shore. You're relaxed and you're engaged. Continue observing your abdomen with curiosity. And with joy, again, as if you would be at the beach and you're observing the waves coming in and out, and in and out, like that. Relaxed, yet focused. Okay, so let's take a few deep breaths. Let's take a last deep breath. And let's come back to the group. So you can see when we do this kind of practices, the mind naturally comes down. Yeah, we feel much better. And so I'm applying this technique of focusing on our object for the first session is the abdomen, just for 7 minutes. I put the same instructions in Google Classroom because it's a technique that Lama Yeshe actually taught. And his idea was, you go in, you watch, you become, the very succinct observer, you do the job, you do it really well, and then you come out. Yeah. So they just like that. We keep them short. Okay. So the whole session, the whole meditation for calming the mind is it was 20 minutes, but the time that we go in and we just observe the object is quite short, 7. And then the next sessions, we will do it a little bit longer, 10. But we start short to become very efficient at it, and then we expand. Okay, that's the idea, if you wonder why so short. And then when you practice at home, I suggest you the same, keep it short. The next weeks will extend it. And then throughout your practice, once we finish this course/retreat, you can extend those periods a little bit more and more and more until you become more what we call stable. Yeah. So we're trying to have those moments of distraction, listen, yeah, and expand our stability. And with that, we will be able to expand our clarity. Okay. So, so the benefits of the practice for calming the mind, we mentioned them a little bit, I think, last week, but they're huge because not only they help us to have that inner stability, that inner clarity, but also emotional balance. Yeah, it gives us with a very nice foundation where we can develop, yeah, our minds. Yeah, and it has impacts in our physical well-being. Yeah, our heartbeats slow down, our nervous system comes down. Yeah, we will be able to sleep better, we will be able to make better decisions of what we eat and how we interact with others, and we will be able probably to make better decisions. Yeah, because we have a more stable mind. Yeah, so yeah, the benefits are huge and are for you to explore them, yeah, by actually doing the practice. Okay. So yeah, with karma abiding, Shanti also asked last week, what are the benefits when it comes to the actual Buddhist path. So karma abiding has to do with every single level at the path. It has to do with this small capacity being, middle capacity being, and great capacity being when we talk about the Lam Wing, which is the graduated path towards enlightenment. Because having a calm mind, cultivating, calm abiding, it will give you the clarity and the stability for you to have these realizations on the path, from propitious human rebirth all the way to the realization of emptiness. You need to have that stable mind, very stable mind first, and then your analytical mind that is trained in sutras is trained separately. The analytical mind, is becoming more and more familiar with these different aspects of the path, and when you combine them together, it's very powerful. Yeah. So the idea is that we train little by little this mind of concentration, very strong, stable mind, and then particularly at the more advanced levels of the Buddhist path, it will help you because it will combine it with your understanding of reality, and that combination of karma abiding, especially inside, that combination it's what we need for us to get out of samsara. Okay, so just to give you a little bit intro there, I'm not going to talk more about it, but just to give you more context, because the main subject matter of what I want to discuss now are the four immersion rules. But to give you context, okay, so all the Buddhist path, Tibetan Buddhist path, is very much based on these, what we call the two wings of a bird, like that, right? So the wings of compassion and the wing of compassion and the wing of wisdom. Okay, so these are two fundamental aspects of the Buddhist path. Okay, so the four immeasurables they have to do with the wing of compassion. Okay, now compassion has many compassion can have many levels. Yeah, we can start talking about empathy, and then we talked about compassion, and then great compassion, and that can also include things like love and great love and bodhicitta. It's kind of like their levels. Okay, but the preliminary for any of these practices to develop the mind towards bodhicitta, towards the most altruistic mind that one can have, is equanimity. Okay, so equanimity is the preliminary practice, and we will start talking about that. Okay, because remember that we recite them with when we recite them together at the beginning, we recite the first love, compassion, and then joy, and then equanimity. But in the first session, I said that when we will explore them deeper, we will start with equanimity. Is because of that. It's because equanimity is the foundation for all the other ones. Okay, for those that studied a little bit more, there's two methods to develop bodhicitta. One is called the seven causes and effect. And then the other one is exchanging the self for others. For these two methods, equanimity is the preliminary. Okay, so let's talk about what is equanimity. Okay, so equanimity, is what we're trying to do is to develop a mind that it's like a calm ocean. Okay, where the mind is completely even. Okay, because if we want to develop our hearts, and the four immeasurables, interestingly enough, they're all about opening their heart. They're all about trying to see all beings with the same eyes of affection to start with. Okay, compassion and love, they comes a little bit later. Okay, so equanimity, what it does is the key to open the heart and make it even to all beings. Yeah, so without aversion and without attachment, and these two are probably the extremes of equanimity. We have equanimity, and then we have the extreme of aversion and the extreme of attachment. So equanimity, what it does is that it sees us and all others as equal by contemplating what makes us equal. Yeah? By contemplating what makes us equal. And what is that? Is the wish to be happy and the wish to be free of suffering. And in that sense, we're all the same. We all have the same yearning. Okay, so equanimity is a mind that tries to release a little bit the strong attachment that we have for those that we love, and release a bit the aversion that we have towards those that we don't like. Okay, so normally is what happens is that for those that are nice to us, yeah, it is easy for us to be nice back, be kind back. Okay, now we have great difficulties towards those that are more hostile towards us. Okay, so what we do is that when people are are mean or are unkind to us, normally, I'm not saying always, but normally we react with the same hostility or unkindness. Okay, so with equanimity, what we try to do is to particularly see those beings as we see ourselves, and if we can, as we see the ones that we love, and if we can, as we see the indifferent people too. So equanimity, what is the indifferent people? Well, those people that we don't care or about, or they're kind of like neutral, indifferent to us. Okay, so with equanimity, we pay particular attention to what in Tibetan Buddhism we label the enemy. Okay, to not see this person as such. We then reflect on the neutral person also to try to develop some sort of warmness towards them, and try to reduce the attachment that we have to those which we love so much. Okay, so so for the people that we see them as the enemy, or that have showed us great hostility, what we try to do is to pause and contemplate that they too, in some way or another, they have some sort of goodness, or they have some sort of potential for goodness. You see, so there's where when the mind transformation comes. Instead of just buying into appearances and freezing people into time, we try to open up the mind a bit more. So what do I mean by freezing people into time? What happens is, when people have been hostile to us, um, normally what we do afterwards is that we kind of merge the person with their behavior. Okay, the person with their behavior, and we think, yeah, that's the person treated me bad, so they're a bad person. And we kind of block our hearts toward them. No way that I'm going to go to that person with some sort of kindness, right? So, and we forget that beings are, I'm going to use a very strong word, but beings are victims of their own afflictions and afflicted states of mind. Normally, beings don't have control of their minds. They don't have control of their negativities. So whatever is going on inwards, they just display it. Okay, they just, yeah. And so that's why we talk a little bit as being victims. Yeah, sorry. So what we do is we have some sort of freezed idea based on their behavior, and we compress them into that category as bad person, and we leave them at that. And they're the enemy, and our hearts can't even open to them. Okay, but the idea here is, and let's just do it right now. Okay, let's do it as a little exercise before we do the actual meditation on equanimity. Take a moment. Take a moment, and right now, right there, try to choose a person that you're willing to work with at the moment, a person that challenges you, a person that has done you harm, wrong, provoked you in a way that you feel, harmed by this person. And try to see what I was saying is true. Have you frozen this person in time because of particular behaviors or a particular behavior? If you could label this person, how would you label, Is this a mean person? What is one label that you would put to that person? Yeah, okay. Now, I'm going to challenge you, and you see if you're willing to take on the challenge. Try to unravel, try to free a little bit this person from this label, from your projection towards them. Try to see them just as a human being, just as a human being. That as you know, they suffer, they struggle, and they want happiness too. Try to relate to them in a different level. Just as an experiment. Try it out. Try to visualize them throughout the day. What would they do? What would they, would they meet with their friends, and would they do some sport or whatever it is? Try to just free them from the emotional relationship that you have with them and see them just as a person, like a normal person. And now, there and then, is there anywhere within that being that you can find some sort of goodness? Do they have any good qualities while they're engaging maybe with other people? Can you pinpoint anything? Can you attend to that good quality for a moment? And try to connect with it, respect that. Do they have a little bit of a spark of light in your eyes, in your heart? So stay with that experience, with that feeling. And remember that, beings are totally dependable on causes and conditions. They're conditioned by their past experiences. And these causes and conditions, throughout lives, they change and they pass and they turn and things change, people change. You are open to give this person a chance instead of isolating them in that deed, in that behavior that hurted you. Because remember, behaviors are temporal, they also change. They arise through causes and conditions, but everything is in flux. Okay, and now let's put that person to a side. Let's put that person to a side. And next, try to bring to mind someone that you don't know that well, maybe like a stranger. I don't know, maybe if you go to a cafe, maybe a waiter, or the supermarket, person at the cash box. I mean, someone that you see them, but you don't know them. Can you see them again as humans with feelings, with whole life experiences? Again, if you would kind of just, again, as an experiment, if you would be able to see them during their daily lives, yeah, they have families too, they have interactions, they have their own sorrows and their own joys. Can you remember these next time you see this person? Instead of just see them as a piece of the bakery or a piece of the cafe, you see them as a human being and address them instead of just being totally indifferent to them. Try to remember this person, yeah? Try to, next time you see them, try to address them a little bit more with your care, with your affection. That they're also worth of it. Okay, and then put this person to a side. And now bring someone whom you feel quite close to, the person that you say, oh, I love this person, or being, could be a pet, or you love them, you would do anything for them. Of course, you wish them well, you wish them to be happy, free of suffering, of course. But now try to see the following. Do they have any sort of faults? No, this is not to scrutinize people, just as an experiment. Do they have any faults? They do, right? We all have. It's natural, it's normal. They're not like absolute, perfection. And of course, still they have faults. We love them. But see, sometimes it's a bit disbalanced. We attend to this person as the absolute perfection and worth of all your love, and the other two, not that much. Can you see? It's a bit disbalanced. So now what equanimity does, bring these three people to the space in front of you, yeah, just one beside the other, the neutral person in the center. And after this reflection, see if you can, attend to the three of them in a more equal manner. Attend with a little bit more of affection, the neutral person and the enemy, just a little bit, just what you can. The love that you have for the person that you love, try to kind of like pass it on to the other two. A little bit more balanced. Because equanimity is an indispensable feeling that we need to open our hearts completely. So remember, for the person that, we feel a little bit of hostility, if we would have been, under the same causes and conditions and lifestyle and environment that they that they had, it would be us like them. It would be us. So like that, try to generate like a sense of gentle evenness in your mind right now. Even. Remember, equanimity is like an open ocean, calm, even. More even. Okay? That is what equanimity does to us. So let's come back to the group. So I hope, it made a little bit more sense. With equanimity, these things, for those of us that we've been, around Buddhism for a little while, and we have recited the four immeasurables before, and some people might become a bit like parrots and they repeat things and over, but equanimity, this is, and with the other, three other immeasurables, we have to be able to push ourselves a little bit with a little bit of courage and try it out. If not, it's just mere words, If not, it's just mere words. So with equanimity, it's like that. If you felt challenged by opening, your perspective of the enemy, just seeing them a little bit with a little bit more of lightness, and it's good, keep on trying and keep on trying and keep on trying, because it's not easy. It's not easy. But if we call ourselves like, I don't know, Buddhist or spiritual practitioners or whatever it is that we call ourselves, these are the things that we really want to attend to and make them part of our experience. If we think that we want to do Dharma and our hearts is, it's closed to a particular person, it's just a mere words. Equanimity, what it does is just we try to open our hearts, like open our hearts, yeah. Because if we can do that, right? If we can do that, then we are going towards somewhere. Yeah, then we can start talking about, like compassion and bodhicitta and these things. Yeah. So so it's like that. Is the four immeasurables? They're about heart. They're about opening up the heart. They are about not having some particular equanimity, not having such a strong distinctions between enemy and friends, the people I like, the people I don't like. Yeah, we walk into a room, we look at people, and instantaneously sometimes we go like, don't like, don't like, just because of the appearances, just because if they smile less or not. It's easy to be nice and kind to people that smile and are friendly, but probably the ones that don't are the ones that they suffer the most. Yeah, because a smile or laughter is because there's some sort of like healthy heart, right? But if they can't even do that, it's because there's some sort of like hurt. Yeah, probably their hearts are broken. Yeah? So those are the ones that we want to attend to specifically. Is if we want to like really test our boundaries and opening our hearts. Yeah. Okay. So so with equanimity, the idea, okay, please remember this, the idea is not to reduce your affection, towards the people that you love. It's not to reduce that, but maybe is to bring the people, if we have the person that we love up here in our level of affection, and then we have the stranger here and the enemy down here. The idea is, to bring these other two a little bit closer to that level of affection and care. Okay. It doesn't necessarily mean that you are doing these in an active way. I mean, it would be great if you could, in an active way. But to start with, even just as an internal process, that in your heart, instead of just ignoring or instead of like hating them, you start to see them differently. Do you see what I mean? It's more like an internal process. It's more a healing of your heart, Yeah. Okay. Because we want to be of benefit, right? And if we are biased, yeah, not very pure. Your heart won't be that pure. Yeah. So yeah, the Buddha had this amazing capacity, and that's one of his main characteristics. He has millions and trillions, but one of his main characteristics was that he was able to help everyone, regardless if they harmed him or not. He could help. He would, with love, he would help everyone, like His Holiness, yeah. Now, when he talks about the Chinese, he says, "These are your loving brothers and sisters. Don't be angry at them. Love them." And it's like, wow, these being that lost his homeland, not only lost, but his disciples and citizens, were tortured and killed, and it was incredible. Yeah? So His Holiness is a living example of equanimity. And of course, if you have that ground, that soil, that field so even, whatever you plant, like a farmer, whatever you plant, it will grow. It will be beautiful. Yeah? But if your field is fragmented, this one's yes, this one no, is distorted. It's going to be distorted. Yeah. Okay. So remember that is trying to even our hearts, to try to have some sort of like even affection. If we can do that internally to start with, and then if you can do that a little bit more externally, when you go to the stranger, remember the person that you thought of, when you go to the stranger, you can just say, "Well, how are you today?" You look into the eyes and you really mean your concern. How have you been? They might think you're weird or whatever. I don't know. But you can try, you can try different things. You can use your creativity and imagination now, how you can, in a very subtle way, express your affection if you're ready to do that. But here the idea is more an internal process. Okay. All right. So let's do our second meditation, right? And so now we're going to analyze a little bit further equanimity. So it's going to be more, rather than just like an experiment, it's going to be more an experience. So again, get into your good posture. Take a few deep breaths. Nice deep breaths. Okay, and now what we will do is what we call breathing from the heart breathing. So you bring awareness to the center of your chest, at the level of your heart chakra. And you visualize as if you will be breathing in and out from that area. Visualize as if you will be breathing in and out from that area, from your spiritual heart. Allow it to breathe. And so first, what we will do is we will try to generate equanimity towards ourselves. Okay, so first we attend to our problems as if we would be ill, and we take compassion and loving kindness and equanimity as medicine to restore the balance of our minds. Okay, and so then when we have achieved some greater health for ourselves, we then consider how we might be of service. And so that service we can offer at that point, be excellent. So we begin with ourselves. So try to breathe in equanimity towards ourselves. So what does it mean to have equanimity towards ourselves? Well, breathe in the following. May I be able to hold myself with equanimity, being free of being too harsh and judgmental and critical about my own faults or shadows. And be free of being too proud about my qualities to show off. So breathe in that equanimity into your heart for yourself. Removing strong aversion and attachment towards ourselves. May I be able to accept myself. Breathe that acceptance into your heart. Make room for it. May I be able to accept my faults and accept my qualities in the same light. Not exaggerating one or ignoring the other. May I be able to have a more balanced relationship towards myself. Now breathing, may I have self-respect and hold myself with affection. Breathing, may I be able to have equanimity for myself in my heart so I can have a grounded equanimity for others. And so now we focus more on our equanimity towards others. And now you focus more on the exhalations. And so now when you exhale, particularly exhale your equanimity towards these three beings that we did that exercise with. May I be able to have equanimity towards those that I see as the enemies, those who I see as strangers, those who I see as loved ones. May I have equal affection. Being free of aversion and attachment. Remember, everything is in flux. The person that we see as the enemy, it could change, one day and become your best friend. The person that we see as the loved one right now also can change. It's all in flux. May I be able to let go of my fantasies towards the ones that I love, and the negative fantasies that I have towards the one that I feel hostile towards. We create stories, all sort of stories, and we believe in them. May I be able to have a more objective, wise mind and heart. If I'm going to be hostile towards something, maybe to be hostile towards afflictions that beings have, but not towards the person who is a victim of them. So now try to breathe out your equanimity and think, well, may all sentient beings, including myself, may we be all free of attachment and aversion. All of us, all beings, not just these three beings. Try to open your heart more and more. Breathe your equanimity out. May all beings, including myself, be able to be free of strong aversions and strong attachments. That poison, these things poison our minds. And eat our hearts alive. Breathe out your equanimity and think, may we be free of biased, judgmental, and critical minds towards each other. May we be free of those chains that create walls towards each other. May we be able to relate to each other with affection, with equal affection, seeing all of us as His Holiness is, all brothers and sisters of the same human family, all wanting to be happy, none of us wanting to have suffering. Send that from your heart, send that wish into the world. How wonderful would that be? Breathe out inspiration for all beings to accept and respect each other, to genuinely respect our differences and accept them. May we also respect and live in harmony with our environment, living in equanimity towards it. Not just using it for own gain and attachments, or being totally indifferent to it. May beings have affection towards their environment and take care of it. Take care of themselves, take care of others, take care of their environment. Breathe out. May there be an equanimity. May there be an equanimity in the world, so we can all live in peace and inner peace. Lastly, breathe out. May all beings have immeasurable, boundless, no limits, equanimity towards all other sentient beings in our hearts. See how freeing equanimity is? Okay, so again, we wrap it up with breathing into our hearts again. Yeah, and breathing, may I have equanimity in my heart. May I be free of aversion and attachment. May I be able to be an equal friend to all beings. Seeing all beings with equal affection. Holding all beings dear in my heart. Okay, so we take a few deep breaths. And we come back to the group. So, yeah, it's a bit of on equanimity. So you have a whole more week to explore it. And I put the meditation on equanimity. So the idea is for you to continue doing the come abiding meditation of 20 minutes with instructions that I gave you now, and they are in Google Classroom. You do those in the mornings. Mornings are really good because you're fresh, you're rested. If you can add another extra 20 minutes to do the meditation of equanimity, the instructions are in Google Classroom. If you don't have that much time in the morning, you might want to do the meditation of equanimity at night. Okay, and then throughout the week, there's a reflection that I also shared in Google Classroom. Is that a reflection for each one of you? You don't have to share. You don't have to talk about it with anyone. They're just questions, and that they're just for you to read them and explore them, and is to go deeper and deeper into the healing of your heart. Okay, so I hope you enjoy. So we have, I don't know, I think this group is a bit shy. I don't know if anyone would have any questions. Otherwise, I appreciate, because some people have been contacting me through Google Classroom, so we can do that too. But if there's anyone here in the group that has any questions, otherwise we can just dedicate.
You can unmute if you have a question, anyone.
No? All clear? Yeah, I think this group is a bit shy. It's okay. It's all right. No, all good. Okay, so I will share now the dedication. Okay. So like that, we all the positive potential that we have gathered individually and as a group, we share it, we give it away. to all beings. Okay, and particularly I like this prayer not only because it's His Holiness' favorite prayer, but because also I think it's very suitable with the COVID situation in the world as well. So I like it very much. So if you would like to join. May all beings everywhere, plagued by sufferings of body and mind, obtain an ocean of happiness and joy by virtue of my merits. May no living creature suffer, commit evil, or ever fall ill. May no one be afraid or belittled, with a mind weighed down by depression. May the blind see forms and the deaf hear sounds. May those whose bodies are worn with toil be restored on finding repose. May the naked find clothing, the hungry find food. May the thirsty find water and delicious drinks. May the poor find wealth, those with sorrow find joy. May the fallen find hope, constant happiness and prosperity. May there be timely rains and bountiful harvests. May all medicines be effective and wholesome prayers bear fruit. May all who are sick and ill quickly be free from the ailments, and whatever diseases there are in the world, may they never occur again. May the frightened cease to be afraid, and those bound be freed. May the powerless find power, and may people think of benefiting each other. And for as long as space remains, for as long as sentient beings remain, until then, may I too remain to dispel the misery of the world. And so, before we end, I'm going to share the long life prayers for our teachers. So also is in the booklet that I shared in Google Classroom. Okay, so for His Holiness Dalai Lama, incomparably kind and super intense in Getzer, the wish granting, wish fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, may you have a long life and all your holy wishes being spontaneously fulfilled. For Lama Zopa Rinpoche, who is the spiritual director of the FBMT, which our institute is part of. You who are called the subduous moral way, who serve as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, and spreading Manjana's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplish magnificent prayers, honor, and three jewels, Savior, myself, and others, your disciples, please live long. So we dedicate for all beings to have equanimity in the hearts, have bodhicitta in the hearts, and achieve enlightenment quickly. Okay, specifically all of us in this group, okay? So thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Venerable. See you next week, everyone.
My joy.
Take care.
Thank you.
You too. Everyone takes care and enjoy Google Classroom and enjoy your week with equanimity. Okay, remember, put it in a sticky note and remember it. Okay.
Okay.